He was invited to perform by the regime in 2007. He joins me now from Nîmes in France. Thank you very much for joining us. Perhaps you can describe your experiences in North Korea to us. How did you come to have that invite in the first place?
Well, I contacted the British Embassy in Pyongyang at the time, when just after these nuclear tests in 2006. I've always been fascinated by restricted countries, and I've done a lot of concerts in places like that. And the British government put me in contact with the North Korean government, and they invited me after about a year, after various meetings at the embassy in London, and I went to a festival that they run every year.
When you were sorry, please carry on.
No, that's it. That's sort of the basic introduction, yeah. And so I went to this April Spring Festival that they hold every April with a few other foreign artists, and it was a real eye-opener.
You came into contact with quite a few North Korean people then. What were they like? I mean, there's this stereotype that they're automatons who obey their leader without question.
It's true. It's so hard to have real open conversations with North Koreans. I had a guide and a translator with me every day, and their English was very good, and we spoke every night about various things. And I think after a few days, when I built a relationship with them, they could talk a bit more freely, but still it was sort of rehearsed answers, as it were. My biggest contact was with the audience. I played to 3,000 people per night for 5 nights in a row, and still I couldn't talk to them. But I think just that in itself is an interesting thing where, not even a diplomat or world leader would be able to have sort of public contact with North Koreans. So that was special in itself.
Do they have any idea how they're perceived by the outside world?
Well, they kept regarding me as a capitalist. I mean, in every conversation we had, that they regarded me as, you capitalists, and I found that very, very, very funny. And they honestly, they don't have any idea what's going on outside those borders, really. I mean, they don't have a clue. In the library in Pyongyang, there's an English department where they have books and DVDs, and it's always locked. I mean, they really can't get any access at all to the outside world.
So no internet, no access to DVDs, no idea of what's going on outside of North Korea. I mean, are they curious?
I wouldn't say that. I mean, I think that the restrictions that are in place by the government are to stop them actually talking to us. And they told me that it was for my safety, and because no one speaks English and I'll get lost and blah blah blah. I mean, in the hotel I stayed in, I escaped twice. The first time I was captured within 5 minutes, and the second time 20 minutes. I mean, they said, "Oh yes, you can walk freely," but of course you can't. So their perception is odd, and of course they have one TV channel which is full of propaganda. So it's very hard for them to make choices and to make decisions themselves.
And just in terms of what life's like in North Korea, I mean, we do know very little about it, but we do know about their economic problems. What was that like socially?
Well, I mean, everybody looks very thin. I mean, Pyongyang is I would say, the richest. I mean, the richest in terms of people eat every day in Pyongyang, but everyone was thin. We had a couple of dinners arranged for us, for the artists, for the festival. And it was very hard to, they laid on quite a spread for us, and it was very hard to be served by people where you could see their rib cages for their shirts. They eat barely enough to live, and that's about it, really. Apart from the people that work with the government, I was once at a table with the personal magician of Kim Jong-il, who was quite a funny character. And those people who are associated with the government, they're well looked after, but everybody else is really on the breadline.
How do you think they'll be viewing their government's actions at the moment? Indeed, will they actually know much about what's going on?
I don't think so. It's hard to say because they have no access at all. To give you an example, I was there on Kim Jong-il's birthday 5 years ago, and there was a big gathering in the main square where you see all the military parades. There was a gathering there, and Kim Jong-il should have been there for his party, and there was the box for the army generals and Kim Jong-il, and we were in a box. There was about 5 of us. There was the British ambassador and 3 or 4 others, and he wasn't there. It obviously wasn't there, and yet on television in the evening they superimposed images of him waving to the crowd. And the strange thing is that they oddly will believe that he was there. It's such a strange thing. I mean, that they showed this footage in the evening of him waving to people at his birthday party on that day, on that evening, and he wasn't there. So it's really twisted in how the propaganda machine works. It's really hard to understand from the outside.
OK, we have to leave it there, Jason Carter, but fascinating to get an insight into what life's actually like in North Korea. Jason Carter, a musician who performed in North Korea.